I came from one of the most deprived areas in Britain, and I've worked really hard to get out of that. I've worked bloody hard at school, I've had good grades, I've got a good degree, and I feel like I've almost made it out, but there's just almost something stopping me, no way of getting out of the debt I'm in, and I feel trapped because of that. My job causes me endless amounts of stress, and sometimes I wonder if I'm actually going to cope. If my job's too stressful, I have to leave it and get another job. So you don't get pay rises, it's harder to progress, you don't get job-related qualifications.
I have to take care, to pay my rent, to assist my family, anyway, to solve my health problem. That's what I'm doing, 2 jobs. Because only 1 job, I cannot do nothing for the money I'm got. If I'm sick, if today I got any problem, it's a big problem to my family.
The job I had before my current job, I was advised to give it up due to my illness, which I have, which has been a diabetic. And I am paying a mortgage, which I had to remortgage, which means going to go well into retirement age, which starts to worry me. But I like the area and I wouldn't want to move from there because I'd have a job to find people friendly and as helpful possibly.
I don't have any more time to spend with my relationship and with my family. The time I got, like today, Saturday, I have to sleep. I have to rest. Sunday, I'm going to church just 2 hours, but I have to come back to sleep, to rest. Then Monday, to wake up again, 4 o'clock to go back to work. I work 5 days. My 5 days in a week is a busy day. Sometimes it's not every day you have to be happy. Sometimes I don't want to go anywhere. I prefer to stay there, to watch my film, to listen to music, to listen to news. I don't want to spend money in the club. You're gonna pay before you got in the club. You're gonna spend more money than you see how much you pay. It's £5 for 4 DVD. That's why I enjoy myself, man. No problem, I'm not going to the pub or in the club. I've got my all African music there.
My main hobby when I'm not at work, and my main pleasure is my cigarette cards. But you've got to have some pleasure. You've got to be, people say, well, why spend that money on pleasure? But if I didn't have some pleasure, well, you would have nothing to live for. I've had the odd girlfriend, but I also think to an effect, and that also affects me having a relationship, because I'm not able to get out to afford to go out to meet socially with people because of the cost of the cost of general living.
I probably only spend about £10 to £15 a week on food. I think that does have a knock-on effect on my health. I mean, every day I eat 8p Tesco value noodles for lunch because it's all I can really afford. And it makes me feel bloated and tired and shit.
5 a day, if you talk about people eating 5 a day, what's it going to cost them? Because it's not cheap. It's no way near. I mean, it's expensive, especially if you've got a family, and also, for me, sometimes I do have to break the rules and have those cheaper meats because I can't always afford the expensive ones. Well, physically, it starts to build my blood count up and makes my blood sugar wrong, which consequently, as I get older, is going to cost them more to look after me.
I don't have time to take the lunch. Sometimes on the street like that, I'm eat. You see, that's my life.
And I do need my car to get to work. It's 30 miles away. It's not on a public transport route. It's cheap to run generally, but it does cost me £50 a week in petrol to get there. That's a standard cost. If my car breaks down, or like a couple of months ago, I needed to do like 200 and odd quid repairs, that's got to come out your wages again. what I have been doing is just putting it on the credit card, but now my credit cards are maxed out because of things like that. Something comes up, I can't afford it, put it on the credit card. Now if anything happens, I am well and truly screwed unless I can find someone to lend me a couple of £100.
To come home, always the train is late. They're gonna tell you it's delayed. When I waste the time there, I cannot do nothing. I cannot eat, I cannot prepare myself, I cannot cook. Then I feel tired. Because the time I have to use to get the time to rest, to get ready to go back to work, I spend all time to waiting on the platform.
I usually walk to work because it's only about 10 minutes. And I find on a Friday and a Saturday night walking to work, it is quite a worry. There's just so many yobbos about and so many people shouting about and drunk even that early on. It can be quite frightening actually, but I couldn't use a taxi on a regular basis because you're talking about £12, £6 going to work, £6 coming back, and if you work that out 5 days a week, that's quite costly, and I couldn't afford to do it. No way.
Yeah, I did have a nightmare at work. I thought that work would pay me by direct debit for my last payment. For some reason they've got this crazy rule where if you leave, the last payment's in cheque, and they didn't send it. It was just sitting in the office for ages. So I didn't get my money for ages, and then a cheque came. Of course, that takes 5 working days to clear. And by which time all my direct debits came out and there was no money in there. So I got bank charges for that.
I don't use overdraft because when I use overdraft, they're gonna charge me more money. The bank not gonna know your problem. They're gonna tell their problem is not their business. That's why I prefer to borrow from my friend. He borrow money from me. I give to him 200. Later, I tell him, okay, I know your problem. Just pay me 2 times. 100 1 month, 100 1 month. That's it. That's why we help each other.
When I rang British Gas, I had to wait 4 or 5 minutes before I got through to anybody. I was getting fed up because of the cost of my phone bill. Then when I got through and told them my complaint, which was, as I say, having to pay more than double on my gas bill, it took another 4 to 5 weeks before I even got a letter saying they would sort it, so it still cost me more anyway. They admitted they'd made a mistake. So what would have happened if I hadn't rung up and just said, oh well, the price of gas has gone up? I'd have ended up paying all that extra money. Would they have ever let me know? Would I ever have found out? I don't think so myself.